What's going on, everyone? This is Steve Larsen, and you're listening to Sales Funnel Radio. This is day number 2 from Funnel Hacking Live. These are the things that I learned, the things that I loved, and you're going to have front row seat here on some of the things that I guess behind the scenes of the things that I thought were awesome during Funnel Hacking Live, day number 2.
Welcome to Sales Funnel Radio, where you'll learn marketing strategies to grow your online business using today's best internet sales funnels. And now, here's your host, Steve Larsen.
All right. Hey, what was so funny is that, we brought in so much energy. We wanted everyone to be in a state to receive and to learn and to be there and to grow and develop. That by day number 2, my voice was already shot, so it's actually been this way for several days. Anyway, it's slightly painful actually, but that's okay. Okay, so the first day, if you haven't listened to it, I would go back and listen to it before you listen to this, because there's a lot of foundational things that were said in day 1, and the conference was meant to kind of build on itself. So I would listen to day number 1 before you listen to this. Okay, so, all right, so I'm just gonna jump right into it, right? We get in there, we're all fired up and stoked up, and they had me as a VIP badge checker, just so you know, inner circle, certified partners, anyone else who's kind of in the VIP area, they sit in the front seats, and I was a bouncer, and anyway, it was a lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed it. So I got to meet tons of you guys again. There's a lot of selfies. It was a lot of fun. It was a fun time, guys. And just like I'd said in the other one, very touched and humbled by the amount of people who came up and said hi and thanked for the podcast. And guys, that fuels me. You know what I mean? This entrepreneurial journey is not easy for anybody. It was really nice to hear that from you guys. And anyway, it was just nice. It was very nice. And especially the guys who brought gifts. Man, that put me on the floor. I mean, that was so nice of you guys. I really appreciate it. So anyway, man, today was so nuts. Okay, or day number 2 was, all right, it was Wednesday, February 22nd, 2017. And the day before is all about marketing strategy and how to sell without selling. Day number 2 was all about the funnels. And so what we did is we brought in all these experts in different industries, right? We know the majority of you guys you're an MLM or e-commerce, or you're an author, speaker, coach, consultant, or you're in retail, you're a brick and mortar, you fit in these certain categories. And so what we wanted to do is bring in people who are using funnels in those industries that you could hear from. And that's what day 2 was all about. And, all right, so what happened is Russell came up, and we did a presentation called Follow-Up Funnels, and we were thinking about what happens when somebody comes into one of our own funnels. And we had John, who does our traffic. He went in and he ran some numbers, and we found out, and it was pretty cool because Russell showed all of our actual numbers. He's like, okay, here's all of our funnels during the month of just this last December, right, just 2 months ago, and he said, okay, here. You notice, and he went through all these funnels, and they're profitable, and they're profitable, and they're profitable. And he was showing the actual numbers: opt-ins, cash, revenue, profit. Opt-ins, cash, revenue, profit on marketing their car and Funnel University and all these different things, all the front end funnels. And what was so funny, we realized when we were looking at them, we're like, man, how are we making money? Because we didn't ask that question. We obviously crafted this on purpose. This is just how we presented it. It's like, wait a second. We pulled in only $17,000 in front-end funnels on December. And we're like, what the heck? And Russell goes, wait a second. Are you telling me, Russell, that you're running a multi-million-dollar business, but you only pulled in $17,000 in December? How is that even possible? You know what I mean? It's like, what the heck? And we went through and we found out that for every dollar that we are gaining on those front-end funnels turns into $16 in the back end. And we wanted to do this because we realized that a lot of you guys, what you're getting stuck on is you go out and you build this tripwire funnel, right? This front-end funnel, and you will expect it to make you bukus of money, right? And that's cool. That's true. Somewhere though, the customer has to be bought. Whether it's with your time, you have to buy the customer, or actual money with ads and stuff like that, you have to buy the customer. Somewhere, a customer will be bought. And what we do then is those front end funnels is how we buy the customer. We call them break-even funnels. They're not to make money. What they're supposed to do is get us a customer, get them buying something, and then recoup cost by selling them products and or other services. So we break even on the front end with these funnels, but then it's all on the back end. It's all these huge follow-up sequences that we have going on. I'm not talking about email sequences. Like, okay, that's one of the elements, but massive things that have everything to do with Actionetics. All the stuff that we put in behind turns into $16 after we bring in $1. Now, the hardest scenario for you guys to make a whole bunch of money in is by making a front end funnel. Okay, listen to me, is to make a front end funnel only. Right? Some of you guys were like, well, I'm making money, but not much. It's like, well, then you're done. Move to the next step. Make a webinar, make an invisible funnel, make something, ascend them to the next level on the, you know what I mean? Don't try and make all this money from your Tripwire front end funnels. We call those break-even funnels. We made 17 grand ourselves in December on that, but we turned all that money into $16 per dollar, right? Ascend. Age and ascend. It's one of the most important elements of your strategy, okay? And he went through and he started showing how we use all this stuff, and we're like, hey, look, if you're all in, like, you'll be able to kill it with this thing. And anyway, it was so cool. People ran and sprinted to the back before he was even done. And he's like, we're not like hard selling anything, just so you guys know. I think he pitched one thing the whole time. That's not the point of these conferences. Then the point is not for us to make money either. We barely break even on these babies. You know how expensive it is to throw throw an event like this? It was massive. Oh my gosh, it was so massive. We barely break even on them, and it's to help all of you guys get the tactics down and strategies down. Anyway, so he first went into follow-up funnels, and we did kind of like a State of the Union and showed some cool things and new features that are coming out that are just, oh my gosh, they're mind-boggling. I'm sure we're going to have to come up with a list of all the cool things that we talked about there, because there's no way I can do it here. I mean, it was like an hour presentation, and people were on their feet like going nuts. It was the coolest thing. Oh my gosh. Okay, then we had a little break, and then Justin and Tara Williams came up, and they talked about podcast funnels, and they talked about how their entire multi-million-dollar business has been built using podcasts. And I've talked to Russell personally about this before, and he's like, dude, the reason why podcasts are so good, you're on it right now, the reason why podcasts are so good is because the kind of person that listens to a podcast is usually someone who's a more active, proactive individual in their life. If I was to put a YouTube ad up, typically people who congregate around YouTube, they only want things that are free, or they may not be action takers. They just want to be purely entertained. If you're on a podcast, you are deliberately trying to accelerate your life, and I applaud you for that, right? That's what you're doing right now. I'm trying to give you guys some cool strategies and little insights on what happened in there. So anyways, they came through and they like, hey, look, we built our entire empire using podcasts. You've got to go in there and you've got to be able to deliver great value, but don't get hung up on it. And anyway, they gave a lot. It was so good. My dad was actually at the conference. I was able to get in and get him a seat, and he was like, oh my gosh, that was the coolest thing I've ever heard. And he started a podcast like before yesterday was even over. It was so cool. And he had the first 20 episodes planned, and it was super cool. So anyway, so then we had Caleb and Emily Shai come in. And just so you guys know, Emily is like 11. She wrote her own book, and it was a book on how to have the perfect sleepover. She's a cute little girl. She calls herself Princess of the Pitch, and she was standing up. She had the whole crowd like laughing. So she was a total natural. My gosh, it was so cool. And she was teaching us all about what this whole funnel game is really about. She wrote that book, and then she sold it door to door and made 20 grand. What's your excuse? I was like, oh my gosh. She's like, I knew I could target people at car dealerships even better. So she would hang out at car dealerships and sell her book on how to have a perfect sleepover to all the kids that would come in. I was like, holy crap. Little marketing genius. That's amazing. What was I doing when I was 12? I think I was picking my nose or something. I don't know. I was like, what the heck? Oh my gosh, she was great. She talked about it's not about making money. This is about your power and your ability to make a difference. It's really cool. You know, sometimes you make a funnel, and sometimes the funnel makes you. Right? Sometimes it just sucks, and sometimes it makes money. Right? It's all about the repetition and wanting it and fighting for it. I was like crazy impressed at the amount of wisdom that came out. He said you're not too small for your dreams, and your dreams are not too big for you. It's really cool. I came in, I wrote down a whole bunch of things she was saying. I was like, do you know what you're saying? You're like 12 and you're killing it. You know what I mean? This is really, really impressive. You and your kids are just one funnel away. And that was really, really cool. And then Caleb came in and he smashed it. I mean, Caleb is an outstanding, just incredible speaker. I really, really enjoyed listening to him as well. And very impressive individual. Came in. I mean, he's spoken with Gary Vee, and he's been on the news like crazy. He's 15, just so you guys know. He's 15. He's killing it. And he's written 4 books and been all over the news. He's done a TED Talk, and it was crazy cool. Been with Ty Lopez, hanging out with him. Lots of huge people. For what he's done as a 15-year-old is insane. Most of it did it when he was 14. But a lot of it was because of his dad, and he went through and he showed how his dad wouldn't give him money for certain things he wanted, and instead taught him how to build a business and get it that way. And it's really, really cool. So his dad wouldn't pay him for doing chores, and instead taught him how to do business stuff. It was really, really cool. So anyway, it was fantastic. The first secret he gave to us was that you got to work your face off, just work like crazy. And number 2 is give like crazy. He said, give your face off, and just give and give and give, and be charitable to all people. He's like, it's always about the individual. It's never about the money. And it was cool to know that he was being genuine about it. I mean, it was so cool. Very inspiring. People were like tearing up in the audience, man. It was really, really cool. Anyway, it was really cool. So he said he's experimenting with doing the perfect webinar script, but inside of a game show. So he's like, you're not going to get kids inside of this webinar just watching it. So he's making a game show. It's really clever. Probably going to interview all those guys here in a second and keep them on put them on the podcast. So anyway, really cool. Okay, then we had Trey Lewellyn come in, and gosh, if you guys know who Trey is, I mean, this guy I don't think I'm at liberty to say the numbers, but he is the person who's made the most money using ClickFunnels ever. He also has the world record for offer that has made the most money in the shortest amount of time. There's been no offer ever in the history of the world that has brought in the amount of money. Anyways, it's insane, ridiculous amount of money. We're not talking like just $1 million or $2 million. I mean, this is a lot of money. Anyway, I don't think I could say more than that. But anyway, he came in and he showed us some really interesting numbers. And he showed us funnelytics. And he showed you literally, okay, get a product in these price ranges, aim for these types of conversions. Once you got that, then you can do this. And then once you've got those conversions and these numbers, then it's time to implement these things. And it's very tactile, very awesome. And he basically gave the roadmap on how to make $1 million. And it was so cool. It was so cool. But something he said in there was very key, and I wanted to bring it up here. He said, anytime you add another product to what you're selling, you immediately 12x the complexity in your business. Immediately. He said, people say to me all the time, like, how did you make that much money? I mean, do you just have like thousands and thousands of SKUs and products and things that you're selling all the time? And he's like, no, we got like 20. It's like, what? 20? That's it? And he went through and he showed how simplicity inside of what you're trying to sell is better. Don't try and do this and 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 this. He would build like one funnel a week to just see what works. And when just a little more of the backstory, because I know him. The guy's awesome. I've gotten to talk to him a lot, actually. And anyway, he's the man. And he said I would launch a funnel one per week, just to see what would work. And then when one would stick, I'd abandon the ones that didn't work and put all my focus and energy to the one that did break even, and they would make it profitable with a few little tweaks that he showed us. And that's how I'd blow it up. Then I'd automate it, get a little customer support in there, and then find a relatable product that I could upsell them to after they got done with that first one. And I'd build a funnel a week, funnel a week, funnel a week, funnel a week. It was really, really interesting. And he's like, every time you do that though, you literally, the number is you will 12x the complexity and stress inside of your business due to all the customer service and support and you know, all the extra processing and all the extra stuff that goes into a single product. And I was thinking about it like, crap, I'm selling too many things. I know I am. I'd rather just focus on one or two, get extra good at it, and then anyway, so I got some big announcements after I'm done with this little series over on anyway. Okay, and then right after that, Jason Fladlien came in. And Jason is the Amazon funnel expert. He has made like over $100 million in the last couple of years using Amazon. And you'd think, what the heck? Like, how does that even work? And it was so cool. I mean, it was so cool. He came through and he showed us how he's taking, he has his product on Amazon, obviously. He's like, guys, for every dollar that is spent on the internet, 25 cents of it is going through Amazon right now. Do you know how many buyers that is? He's like, I can make $1 million selling ketchup or something stupid. There's so many, and they go to Amazon with the intent to purchase. The stat right now is that like 83% or something like that. It was huge. I think he said it's in the 80s. 83% of people make a purchase per month in the US. Isn't that crazy? 83% of people make a purchase per month in the US on Amazon. That's nuts. That's so many buyers. That's so many buyers. He's like, and it's increasing. It's the most insane thing ever. He's like, so I totally hacked Amazon. And what I do is I take the image of the product that I'm selling, I put it on top of he showed us the exact strategy. He showed us the 7 strategies that he's using, and he walked through all 7 funnels, showed exactly how they're working. And I was like, holy crap, I've never even heard of this. And it blew my mind, and I'm pretty immersed in the funnel world. And I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. And he went through and he showed how his product is on Amazon. He takes an image of it and he puts it on a ClickFunnels page, and he basically sends people to it. He sells it a little bit, but he said the less copy on selling physical products through Amazon actually converts higher than more copy. And I was like, oh, that's a cool tip. Thank you. He's like, and it's easier, which is awesome. He's like, so then what I do is I say, hey, you know, he acts like it's a product launch. And when people go there, there's a coupon code they can download. Well, when you click download coupon code, a pop-up with an opt-in form comes in. That's how he gets your email address, right? Because Amazon keeps all the emails. So then when you put the email address in, the second page has the coupon code, and then he just walks people through how to buy the product. And so they take the coupon code, they'll go to Amazon, they'll search for the product, which boosts his ranking like crazy inside of Amazon's algorithm. And then they'll go inside there, search for the product, pull it on up, buy it with the coupon code, and it scratches so many backs. It's ridiculous. Oh my gosh, I couldn't believe what he's doing. And he's like, now I got their email for follow-up purchases of the same type of product or same product. He's like, it's the craziest thing on the planet. Amazon fulfills it. If they got Amazon Prime, it's like free shipping. I don't have to worry about that crap. It was really cool. He's leveraging what Amazon's doing. Anyways, that was, you guys. I mean, that was worth it all just right there. And he showed 7 different variations of strategies of when to use which. It was really cool. That was awesome. Okay, then Darren Stevens stood up and he showed us event funnels and how he throws events like crazy. And how he, just so you guys know, I don't think you may not know who Darren Stevens is. He has helped author some of the best-selling business books like on the planet. And Darren's a very impressive individual. He's one of the most well-connected individuals I've ever met in my life. I mean, just insane what he does. And anyway, I'll stop there on that. But he has gone and made several times $1 to $2 million at a live event with only 80 people in the room. Think of the numbers on that. And so what he did is he goes through, okay, 1 to 2, even 2.5, I think it was the biggest one he did, $1 million in a couple days with only 80 people in the room. I mean, you gotta think of the numbers that takes. That's insane. And so what he went through and he showed the strategies that he uses, very subtle cues and techniques, ways to keep the brain engaged while you're talking to a live audience. Very subtle little things that you do. They may not seem that big, but he's like, they make all the difference in the world. All the difference in the world, because I get them with me before I'm even pitching anything. And anyway, it was cool. Okay, then we had a little break, and then we had Setema come up and share. Gosh, if you guys don't know Setema, he won the Super Bowl with the Patriots, and he showed some really fantastic stuff. He went through and he started showing. He's like, hey, my job here is to show you guys how to implement and to get things done in your life. And he said, number one, you've got to get clear about what you want in your life. You got to declare it. And he showed some really powerful examples. And he's like, I'm not just telling you to just say like, well, I want to make money. He's like, no, you got to get clear. Like, hey, when you're clear, you don't go hang out with your buddy. Okay? You make your business happen. When you're clear, you give up a little bit of time here. You start doing ridiculous sacrifices. And he gave some very powerful, tear-jerking examples. I won't lie, like, I don't cry. Okay, I don't cry. But man, there was like 3 times in this event I was like, holy crap. Not just with Tony Robbins. And Setema is one of them. Man, I want to go. I want to go learn from him. I'm actually going to go find. I don't know if he's got a course or what, but whatever. Anyways, I want more of that. It was cool. He said number 2, the story I believe most about myself is the story that I tell most to myself. He's like, so if you want to change yourself, just change the story you keep telling yourself. He's like, that sounds really simple, and it is, but it's harder to implement than I'm saying. Meaning, I'm too slow, I'm too fat, I'm too this, I'm too this, well, I'm too scared, I'm not good enough on the camera, I'm not good enough to do a webinar, I'm this. It's like, then you're never going to freaking do it. Right? You have to change the story that you're telling yourself. Really cool. And number 3 was have a holy cause, right? And just take ridiculous, imperfect action. Stop trying to make it perfect. The things that he was saying were so, it was good. It was really, really good. It was it's calming to a very entrepreneurial ADD person like myself. It's really awesome. Anyway, I got to keep moving a little bit faster here. And then, the day's almost over. So then we had 2 Comma Club awards. These are the people who made $1 million inside of ClickFunnels. Okay, just think about this. All right, ClickFunnels is only like a 2 or 3 year company, right? We've had about 100 people make $1 million in a single funnel with ClickFunnels. You don't have those types of ratios in any other industry. MLM doesn't give that to you. Like, nothing else gives that to you. Really interesting. So just like do what Russell says. You look at all the people that were standing up there getting a 2 Comma Club award. They were doing what Brandon Galen did. They paused the video, they did what Russell said, then they played it and they paused the video and they did it. And it's like very, very cool. Then Russell did a presentation about how you're only one funnel away, and he brought us through his actual story from college and all the intense, man, that was, oh my gosh. I already respected Russell like a brother, and I've told him that many times, and I look up to him like that, and it's cool to sit next to him. Really cool. But man, you guys, that man cares about you. And I already knew that, but I listened to what he went through to get where this all is right now, and he doesn't share the whole thing much. And I don't know if there's a dry eye in the audience. It was very humbling to realize that I got to sit there. I already was humbled knowing that, but everyone else in the audience was thinking the same thing. It was so crazy. All right, then after that we had all I'm saying is, if you were at the event, please tell Russell thank you. Just even on social media. Anyway, I got a few gifts from you guys that you wanted me to bring to him. That's really nice of you also. I'm obviously going to do that, but just say thanks to him. The guy obsesses over your success, and I don't know any other business with a CEO that does that. Please show who that is. Yeah, anyway. Then we had a sweet hackathon, and it was very similar to the roundtables before. And I was out there mapping out stuff with you guys and answering tons of questions. It was so freaking fun. Like, you guys are my people, man. You hackathon people, oh my gosh, I love it. And we got an event in Boise, a new event. in Boise. I'm not gonna let the cat out of the bag a little bit though. Just watch social media. You guys will see what's happening. But I'm really stoked because you guys get to come hang out with Russell and me for 3 days, and we build out your funnel with you. By the time you're done and by the time you leave, you have an entire webinar done, the script, you've actually done it live, you have the entire funnel complete, you have several variations that you could get it done. We've recrafted your entire message, has nothing to do with the product, like I was saying in the previous episode, has everything to do with the way you put the message together. We rewrite your message. I mean, Russell's an expert copywriter. He doesn't always like to write it himself. Actually, he does. Never mind. He does do all the copy. I forgot about that. I'll go through and I'll write it. And usually, I'm getting better at the copywriting part. He actually doesn't tweak as much of my stuff anymore now. But he is a great copywriter. But anyways, we go through, you write it all, you put it all together, and it's 3 days. And very soon here, you will have to do that before you're even allowed to get into the inner circle. All right, we're taking the whole inner circle through this course because we realized that the inner circle was struggling with the same sets of things, which is the whole reason we created the event. And so in the future, whether or not you go into the inner circle, you'll have to go through it as a lock gate to even apply, because he's going to be able to elevate what he does with inner circle even higher. It's going to be awesome. Get him even more stuff. So anyways, guys, that's day number 2. Thank you so much for sticking around. I know there's a lot of stuff, but you guys are all awesome. Appreciate everything you guys are doing. Again, go get the ticket for next time. And day 1 was all about marketing strategy. Day 2 is all about the funnels. And then day 3 is all about personal development, and it will be a shorter podcast next time because I don't even know how to capture the things that Tony Robbins taught us. I had never seen him before, and I know everyone rants and raves about him, and I was just going with open mind. I was like, cool, this is going to be awesome. I'm sure it's going to be great, but I had no idea the level. And anyway, so I'm going to do that for the next episode here, and that's kind of my run through on all these amazing dudes. All right, bye.
Thanks for listening to Sales Funnel Radio. Please remember to subscribe and leave feedback. Want to get one of today's best internet sales funnel for free? Go to salesfunnelbroker.com/free funnels to download your pre-built sales funnel today.